Okay, question to you guys. Have there been any videos that you've ever regretted or like you just can't?
Dude, like my first early part of YouTube. But
yeah,
like,
my first 4 years.
Okay, I'm gonna say this, but I know it's not true. Like I looking back, I feel like I hated it, but I know I didn't, right? I enjoyed what I used to make, but it was never what I wanted to make.
Yeah.
I made one or two things that I did want to make, and then I made more of that until I got stuck making only Black Butler stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that was a nightmare to get out of.
Yeah.
Because like anything I made that wasn't Black Butler, no one watched it. No one. And I remember I moved to London and I was making like £1,500 a month, right?
Yeah.
Which in London, you know, this is before tax. Before
Scraping
tax,
by,
right?
just scraping
by.
I was basically scraping by, and I remember for some reason I was adamant. I'm like, I'm not fucking making these Black Butler videos. I was still making them, but I'm not making them all the fucking time.
Yeah.
And all of them bombed, like straight up. All of them just bombed. I was getting like 1/3 the views I was normally getting, and I'm like, I'm going to go homeless. I'm going to have to go back to my parents and be like, I fucked up.
Yeah.
But you know, I was persistent. I was like, no, I'm not. I'm going to make this fucking work. They're funny. I think they're better than my old stuff.
Yeah.
And eventually it did take off. But I remember like because the reason why I realized I had to change was because someone told me, they were like, oh, that's weird that you can't watch your own videos like at all, like even reviewing it. I couldn't review them. I had to get someone else to review them for me.
Oh, really?
Because it was like I would cringe too much watching them.
Yeah.
Because I didn't like it.
Yeah.
But like
I get exactly the same feeling sometimes.
yeah, but like now when I make a good video, I'm like, I fucking love this part. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that guy's hilarious.
I watch is like you watch it like 2 or 3 times before it goes live. It's just like, yeah, this is gonna be a banger.
I'm like, here comes the joke. I killed that joke. I killed that joke. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm so happy with what I'm making right now.
Yeah.
And it feels
Yeah.
like a whole, like, I've just been like unchained. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
But it's hard. And I see a lot of YouTubers, and I remember because I used to help out with a lot of comic dubbers who would dub like Undertale comics. I don't know if you remember that when that was a thing.
Oh yeah, of course.
And
Homestuck comics.
All of these people who would dub comics, it was so easy to get hundreds of thousands of views, right? Because these had huge fan dubs. They would get to like 200K subs. They would want to start branching out. Boom. Just none of the videos would get views.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was trying to help them, but a lot of people, when they get 1 or 2 videos that do bad or perform poorly, they're immediately put off trying to try anything else. Because they're like, it just doesn't do well. It just doesn't do well. They don't want to figure out how to make it work. Like, because it is basically starting from zero with a little bit of an advantage.
Right.
But you basically do have to kind of get rid of all your old audience and get a new one.
It's probably less discouraging starting from zero because at least from
I think
zero,
so.
there's no
you have nothing to lose.
Which,
You know what I
is
mean?
why, like, my number one piece of advice from the get-go is make what you want. Don't make what gets views.
No,
'Cause I did
exactly.
that, and I fucked myself over.
Yeah.
I'm lucky because I think I'm like one out of 100, right? Who managed to change his
you
content
got very, very
and got
lucky.
and get away from it. Because if I was persistent, I did not stop.
I was kind of in a similar situation.
Right, yeah,
not to the extent of you with Black Butler, but I was kind of there when I did a lot of Corpse Party stuff.
Right,
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
that. I remember that.
Because I originally blew up playing, I think it was Corpse Party 2, which was like the new Corpse Party game that just come out.
Yeah.
But it was
Right.
only in Japanese. So the first Let's Play, that was the first Let's Play I ever did as well, I remember. It was like my 8th video or something.
Oh my God.
Right,
and
right.
it just immediately blew up because it was a
could
Corpse
understand
Party.
the
Because I
Japanese.
didn't
Yeah.
know how dedicated the Corpse Party fan base was back then. And it got to the point where I would do Corpse Party 2, it would just get insane amount of views, like way more than any of my anime content.
Right.
And then I found a Corpse Party spin-off visual novel, which no one also did because it was only in Japanese.
Yeah.
I did like 30 episodes of that. All the episodes fucking killed it.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where any other video I did during that period, I'd say like over 90% of the comments were filled with Corpse Party RPers.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Just like replying to each other's comments
That's hell. That's hell.
Corpse Party characters. And I looked at that and I was like, okay, I shouldn't get stuck in this rabbit hole. This is bad.
I gotta get out of here.
I gotta get out of here, dude. I gotta get the fuck out.
Yeah.
And one thing I tell other YouTubers who are like maybe at like 10 to 50,000 who are stuck in a content where they can't get out of it.
Yeah.
And it's the only content that gets views by doing a certain amount of thing over and over again. Like, you know, like a pet almost, right?
Yeah.
Like do the thing you did, but differently slightly.
Yeah.
I always tell them, like, think of it this way. Like maybe if you changed your videos up entirely, the 50,000 subscribers that you're so desperately clinging onto right now could be 1 million, right?
Yeah.
Like, don't worry about the subscribers you have because most of them probably only care about that one thing, right? And if you want to
Yeah.
change, you don't need this. people.
Subscribers change all the time.
They
They always
do, yeah.
recycle.
Subscribers don't really mean much in terms of view counts nowadays because it's all about recommended and what.
I mean,
yeah.
look at this channel.
Yeah, no, exactly. We're at 300k and we're like breaking over 500k every
Yeah,
episode. I'm like,
exactly.
how is that happening?
And it's like, YouTube used to be able to show you how many people unsub from your channel. They removed it, but it used to show you. And I remember at like 600k, it was like plus 600,000 subscribers minus 80,000.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you will siphon out people in a good way. Like
Yeah,
you'll lose the audience that you don't want, and that's okay. But it's
Yeah.
hard to teach people that because like YouTube's hard. Like
Yeah, because
it's hard.
Sorry,
because all they see is that minus 80,000. They think,
Yeah.
oh, I could be at 680,000
Yeah, yeah.
instead
Oh
of
no,
600,000.
exactly
But
right. Because like for me, I part of the reason I feel like I've been able to be on this platform for so long is that I always like try to change my content. It's always like a conscious effort at this point.
same.
If I look at my content last year and I'm making exactly the same content, I don't feel like you have to do like a big fucking change straight away. But if you like gradually change over the years, it'll be totally fucking different. Because if you look at my content 5 years ago, it's totally different from what I do now. But the way you implement that is you do things a little bit at a time. So how I see it is, if I'm doing exactly the same content as I'm doing last year, to me, I failed. And I've personally failed myself. Like
same,
I remember last year, I was like, it was probably like my best overall year in terms of views on my channel. And I was actually like, I was really unhappy with my channel because I'm like, this is exactly the same stuff I've been making last year for an entire year. And it hurt me. It hurt me, but like I didn't know what I wanted to do next. So it took me like a little bit longer to figure out, okay, I want to try something different in this way and that way. But it's part of the secret of like being able to survive on YouTube for so long.
evolving. It's like you have to constantly be looking for that evolution.
Well, that's the scariest thing, right? Is that there's nothing scarier than YouTube viewers losing interest in a YouTube channel than the actual YouTuber losing interest in their YouTube channel.
Like I feel like you've really upped your game in like the past year.
Oh no, you have.
I definitely have. I mean, I think like late 2019, like 2019 for me was a weird year because at the beginning of 2019, I was kind of in the same boat where I just kind of looked at my channel. I thought, this is the same shit I've been doing since I moved to Japan.
Yeah,
But just like a little bit better editing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think late 2019 was where I was like, you know what? I'm going to kind of slow down on the analytical stuff. Like do way less scripted shit and kind of just do more fun entertainment based stuff.
Yeah.
I don't have to always be like the big brain boy of anime.
Yeah.
Like
I feel like we all rubbed off on each other almost.
Oh no,
think
no.
so.
I think definitely moving here, I've like seeing how you guys work has like given me like a different perspective about how content can be made and like different approaches. Because I feel like a lot of people when they think about making their content better, they're like, okay, like maybe getting better equipment or
There's
maybe
definitely a factor of that.
Yeah. And there is a factor of that, or like sometimes it's like, oh, I gotta increase, make my writing better, and do this. But sometimes it's just, what if you just try approaching your content in a completely different way?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like going back to Anitube, where everyone tries to make content to appeal to each other, as what I see is content being approached exactly the same way.
Oh yeah,
from like five different perspectives.
It's all the same. It's just an iteration upon each other. Like they don't do anything different.
Yeah.
Which is why I find it weird about the tier list, because I can definitely see how you might find X contents better, but to me it's like, okay, well, you're still like approaching it in the same way. Someone might have better editing or better writing or just better idea or more interesting ideas, but it's still kind of like in the same niche.
It's the same shit.
Yeah,
it's
so
the same shit.
They'll sit here and talk about, like I remember, like I don't know which YouTuber it was. They're like, yeah, his clip selection was poor, and I'm like, who the fuck gives a shit about his clip selection? Who cares about his clip? Who watches a video of an anime review and is like, this clip selection is rather disappointing? You don't think that. You're like, if the video is at that point where you're nitpicking that much, I feel like that.
The content is stale.
Well, unless it's that egregious, right? Where the clip selection is that poor, right? It shouldn't be a factor. It's not what when you're talking about anime. Picking the right clips doesn't fucking matter. It's what you're talking about.
As long as the clip's not in 240p, no one gives a shit, right?
I mean, which is why, like, I don't know, like, personally, the thing that I've tried to improve the most on is like how comfortable I am on camera. I'm always trying to like up it.
Yeah.
Like I want to make it feel like it's just like my best friend in the room.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Yeah.